A reckoning at Pinnacle Trust Bank. In the heart of Miami's financial district, where glass towers gleamed under the relentless Florida sun, a woman stepped into the lobby of Pinnacle Trust Bank. She wore a plain navy hoodie, faded jeans, and scuffed sneakers. Her hair was pulled into a tight bun, and she carried no purse, only a slim black card holder tucked into her pocket. To the untrained eye, she was nobody special, just another face in the crowd. But Clara Thompson, the CEO of Pinnacle Financial Group, wasn't here to impress. She was here to uncover the truth. For months, complaints had trickled into her office. Clients turned away, applications lost, staff at the bank's newest branch dismissing anyone who didn't look the part. The reports were specific Black and Latino customers were ignored or humiliated, while white clients in suits were ushered to private rooms with coffee and smiles. Clara could have sent an audit team, but she wanted to see it for herself. So, on a humid Tuesday morning, she walked into her bank, undercover, ready to face whatever lay behind the polished counters. The lobby was pristine, with marble floors and leather chairs that screamed wealth. Clara approached the information desk, where a young teller, Emily Nguyen, offered a hesitant but polite smile. "Good morning, ma'am. How can I assist you today?" she asked, her voice soft but professional. "I'd like to inquire about opening a Premier account," Clara replied, keeping her tone neutral. Emily began explaining the account tiers: basic checking, standard savings, and the Premier level, which required a $25,000 minimum balance. Clara nodded, about to ask a question, when a sharp voice cut through the air. "She's wasting your time," barked Michael Reynolds, the branch manager, striding out of his glass office. His eyes raked over Clara's hoodie with undisguised contempt. "That's not a serious inquiry. She can't afford it." Emily froze, her cheeks flushing. Clara remained calm. "I'm serious about opening an account. I meet the minimum and want to understand my options." Michael scoffed, waving a dismissive hand. "Lady, this isn't a charity. You can't just walk in and demand top-tier service." Across the lobby, two tellers Sarah Mitchell and David Carter exchanged smirks. "Looks like she wandered in from the bus stop," Sarah whispered, loud enough for Clara to hear. David chuckled. "Or a homeless shelter." The words stung, but Clara's face betrayed nothing. She repeated, "I'd like a brochure on Premier accounts." Sarah tilted her head mockingly. "Are you sure you're in the right place?" She turned away, dismissing Clara entirely. That's when the security guard, Thomas Hayes, stepped forward. At 6 feet 3 inches with a scowl etched deep, he loomed over Clara. "Ma'am, if you're not here on legitimate business, you need to leave. This is a financial institution." Clara met his gaze. "I said I want to open a Premier account." "Right?" Thomas sneered. "And I'm the governor." Laughter rippled from David's station. The lobby wasn't empty. A few clients in suits sat in the waiting area, watching the scene unfold. Among them was Nathan Brooks, a white financial consultant visiting from Atlanta. His jaw tightened as he pulled out his phone and started a live stream on X, captioning it, "Discrimination at Pinnacle Trust Bank, Miami." Nearby, a woman in a tailored blazer, Laura Bennett, was offered a cappuccino and escorted to a private room, while a man in a pinstripe suit, Richard Evans, received personal attention from David. Clara, who controlled more wealth than anyone in the room, stood treated like an intruder. Emily, still at her desk, looked torn. She stepped forward. "Mr. Reynolds, maybe we could just give her the information." Michael snapped, "She's new. Doesn't know how to spot trouble yet." Clara took a deep breath. "I'm asking for a brochure. I qualify." Thomas moved closer, his voice menacing. "Leave now, or I'll escort you out. No loitering." Clara reached into her pocket and pulled out her card holder. She held up a corporate ID. "Clara Thompson, CEO of Pinnacle Financial Group." Sarah laughed, snatching the ID and tossing it onto the counter. "Fake. People try that scam all the time." The room fell silent. Nathan's live stream was now pulling thousands of viewers. Emily gasped. Clara stared at Michael. "You just made a very big mistake." Michael shrugged. "What I see is someone playing dress-up. We don't serve fantasies here." David smirked. "She's ruining Pinnacle's image." The air grew heavy. A few clients murmured. One whispered, "That's her. I saw her on Bloomberg." But the staff didn't notice or didn't care. Clara glanced at her phone. A text from her assistant, Maria Lopez, read, "Internal system ready." Clara's thumb hovered, then pressed send. The situation escalated. David leaned back, smirking. "If she's the CEO, I'm Jeff Bezos." Sarah pointed to the door. "Take your fake ID and go." Thomas stepped closer, hand on his belt. Last warning. Move, or I move you. An elderly client, Margaret Wilson, stood up. That's no way to speak to a woman asking for service. Thomas snapped. This doesn't concern you. But it did. Nathan's stream had hit 5,000 viewers, with comments flooding in, accusing the bank of racism. Clients began identifying Clara online, linking her to Forbes articles and keynote speeches. Emily spoke up, her voice trembling. Mr. Reynolds, we should take this seriously. Michael glared. You're here to learn, not argue. She's not causing trouble, Emily insisted. She asked a question, and you humiliated her. Sarah rolled her eyes. Emily, stay in your lane. Emily stood firm. I've read the complaints. This matches them. Nathan shouted. It's live, and it's spreading. Thomas lunged toward Nathan. Turn that off, or I'll take it. Nathan held his ground. Try it, and I'll sue. Laura Bennett emerged from the private room. That's Clara Thompson. I saw her at a banking summit. She's the real deal. Richard Evans joined her. She owns Pinnacle. You're about to lose your jobs. Clara remained calm. I made the call. Michael faltered. What call? Nathan answered. She contacted her office. The system's activated. Emily turned to Clara. Tell them. Clara stepped forward. For months, we've had complaints about this branch. Clients turned away, applications shredded, staff deciding who gets respect based on clothes or skin. I came to see it myself. I've seen enough. Michael stammered. We follow procedures. You shredded my ID, Clara said. You called me a fraud. That's not procedure. That's bias. A middle-aged black woman spoke up. This happened to me 3 weeks ago. They dismissed me without asking my name. Nathan asked, how many others? Hands went UPA young Latino man, an elderly Haitian client. The truth unraveled. Michael tried one last defense. This is a setup. Clara's gaze was steel. Is that what you told HR when a black woman was told to wear heels for executive attention? Michael's mouth closed. Emily revealed. That complaint was buried. I saw the emails. Clara's voice cut through. Your time here is running out. When Thomas grabbed Clara's arm, the room erupted. Clients formed a human wall. Let her go, Nathan shouted. Emily stepped into the lobby. Don't touch her again, or I'm reporting you to the police. Michael exploded. Enough. Emily, you're fired. Emily didn't flinch. You don't have that authority. She does. Clara stood at the center, unshaken. You judged the wrong woman, and you did it in my house. The front doors opened. Regional Director James Parker entered with board members Ellen Wu and Charles Bennett. James walked to Clara. Ms. Thompson, CEO, we're here. Clara addressed the staff. Effective immediately, this branch is shut down. Michael Reynolds, Sarah Mitchell, David Carter, Thomas Hayes, you are terminated. Your access is revoked. Michael protested. You can't do this in public. This is exactly where it needs to be done, Clara said. In front of those you silenced. Ellen added, you're banned from rehire at any Pinnacle institution. Clara turned to Emily. You're promoted to Assistant VP, Equity Response Division. Emily blinked. I didn't ask for this. That's why you deserve it, Clara said. Sarah's voice broke. It wasn't just today. We've done this before. Michael told us minorities would hurt the branch's numbers. Charles stepped forward. You rejected customers based on race? Sarah nodded. We shredded complaints. Used code words like review later. Clara's voice was low. Why admit it now? Sarah whispered. We assumed you were nobody. Laura Bennett shook her head. How many lost opportunities? Clara addressed the crowd. We'll review every complaint. Any client denied service will be contacted. Harm will be corrected. James nodded. A new oversight body will monitor bias across all branches. The staff dropped their badges and left in silence. Clara stayed, overseeing the transition with James, Ellen, and Charles. Maria confirmed the system override. Clara issued orders. Audit 2 years of client rejections, flag biased notations, and contact affected clients. James handed her a file. It's not just this branch. Michael's name appears in Tampa and Fort Lauderdale log same patterns. Clara's tone chilled. He had help. Find their names. Emily showed a scanned document. Know your client profile priorities listing undesirable traits. Clara called it discrimination dressed as strategy. She faced the clients. We didn't just listen. We acted. In the weeks that followed, Pinnacle launched a company-wide audit. A retired manager's affidavit revealed an unwritten policy from years prior, encouraging staff to divert undesirable clients. Clara established a permanent equity task force and issued personal apologies to affected clients. Some received restitution, others, like the woman told to wear heels, got a call from Clara herself. Emily built a bias training framework and rolled it out across Florida branches. The terminated staff faced regulatory scrutiny, their reputations tarnished. Clara didn't pursue charges. Their actions will answer for them, she said. 3 months later, Clara stood in a redesigned Pinnacle branch. Gone were the marble and ropes, replaced by an open, inclusive space. A quote gleamed on the wall: "Respect is the minimum balance." A client paused, smiled at Clara, and walked on. Clara stepped into the Miami sun, not triumphant, but resolute. Change wasn't loud. It was a woman walking into a bank and being treated like she belonged. What do you think about Clara's response to injustice? Have you witnessed or experienced bias in everyday spaces? Share your thoughts in the comments below, especially on how we confront discrimination and build fairness. Your voice matters.